Hello, everyone, and welcome to my den. I'm Kane Lowen, and today we are back with more Dragon Quest 11. Or 11. Dragon Quest 3. I miss Dragon Quest 11 so much. I was actually watching my friend Jolt, Tanuki Jolt, stream it earlier today, so that might be why it's fresh in my mind. But, yeah. Last time we finished the Maw of Necrogond and got the final orb, and we went and got the Everbird. So, whoa. Now I'm just doing some cleanup around the world. Yeah, there's really not a lot to some of these things that I'm picking up now. Let's see. A light. What does a light mean? I don't know if I've ever seen that word before. I've seen land, but never a light. Yeah, this is gonna be really difficult to figure out. If I'm not mistaken, I read that like one of these places is gonna be a really good place to, like, farm metal slimes for grinding. But I'm not worried about that right now. I'm literally just doing cleanup at the moment. Okay, according to the map, there's something here, but I can't see it. Um, One place I want to go back to is All Trades Abbey, because now that I have now that Panda has what's it called multi heal, I have no reason to keep him as a sage. Where for the most part he's kind of walled XP wise. This is part of why I kind of prefer, characters having set like jobs and set professions and stuff. Is because, that way you could just focus on those set jobs and set professions instead of having to, like, switch things around every so often when you get walled by shit. Also, I don't know what I expected the Everbird to look like, but I really like its design. It's not at all what I expected, but again, I don't know what I expected, but yeah. It almost looks like a giant peacock or something. Which is probably part of the inspiration. But again, it's almost Luan, that's what it's called, the Luan. It's definitely based on the Luan from like Chinese mythology. Um let's see. I think I read that martial artist is a good thing for Sage to continue off from, or to continue on from, rather. And now Panda's also in a cat suit because for some reason that's the best fucking like equipment I have is cat suits. All right. I'll have to do a bit of digging around to see what I can find for good equipment for Panda, but I'm gonna not worry about that right now. Bum, 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 bum. Do we even still have the boat at all? We do, yeah. Okay. But as you may remember, there's a lot of places that we could potentially go back to now that we have the bird. Or rather, places we couldn't reach before that we can now because of the bird. 5,200 coins. As if I needed any more of those. Staff of Resurrection. Okay. And Vial of Elfin Elixir. Neat. Anything here? Animal Instinct. Nope. Okay. Sometime soon I might like go and try to mark down which monsters I have recruited already and which ones I don't and see what I'm missing. Because yeah, now that we have the Everbird, the world is our oyster. We have access to basically everything. And honestly, once I wrangle all the monsters, I probably won't even need a monster wrangler anymore. So I might be able to switch Amiri and Ari to something else at that point. Although at this rate, Ari I might keep as a thief. Not gonna lie. I might have already been here. I'm not sure, but yeah. Let's see here. Let's go back down to the continent of Valiahan. Oh, wait a minute. I don't remember if I ever did this. Hold on. Yeah, I was about to say, this looks like a hidden area or whatever, if I've ever seen one. Iron Axe. Not very good, but I did see something out of the corner of my eye. Yes, there it is. You're alright, mate. Hoodwink. Okay. It's too bad there's no panda suit for Panda. That would have been cool. Okay. I turned on autopilot, but I don't know where the autopilot's taking me. Okay, I just keep going straight south. All right. I see a secret area down there, but I can't remember if I did it already. So I'll just go ahead and do it now. Oh yeah, I did. I think I did do this. Yeah, I did. Okay. Although I will, like, I mentioned in the last video that, like, this game kind of sort of being, like, the largest that the series, or that the original trilogy ever gets, you know, world map-wise, kind of implies that everything kind of went to shit after the first, or after this game. Because the world map is tiny in Dragon Quest 1, and it's certainly bigger, but still pretty small in Dragon Quest 2. But, like, you know, it's never really elaborated on. It's never really elaborated on as to why. It just sort of is. Okay. Hades Condor, I think, is what this is. Beaker. I like that. Anything else around here? Oh, a treasure chest. Okay. Pair of elevating shoes. Not sure what those do, but I'm not sure what those do, but they're giving me hover boot vibes from, like, Ocarina of Time. Okay. Oh, it gives you experience every step you take. Alright. Interesting. And it gives a big increase to luck, apparently. Could probably give that to Panda for now. Let's see, if Panda's gonna be a martial artist, I feel like higher agility makes sense for him, especially for such a really big agility buff for a really tiny defense drop. So yeah, we're good on that. The appearance isn't super accurate though, because, well, I mean, granted, I've never actually seen what he looks like, but as far as I know, Panda does have hair. So yeah. If he doesn't, he's never said anything to us. So, yeah. Awkward, but whatever. Okay, there should be lots more places to explore now we have the Everbird. I kind of wish that this thing... I mean, I know it's going pretty fast in the grand scheme of things, but, like, I wish it felt faster. Because it doesn't feel that much different from just walking around normally. Even though I know objectively it is. I see a secret area down there that I can't remember if I've ever gone to before. Actually, what are these called? Okay, so yeah, I haven't done this one because there's a monster here, but it's not out right now. The nightlight changes night to day, but not vice versa. So here we go. Bartholomew. I'm never gonna understand the name Bartholomew. For the first few years after I learned it, I thought that it had something to do with barf, like vomiting, because it sounds like Bartholomew. And yeah, that's a really common like pun version of that name. In media when you want to make like a zombie or like a sick character or something that has the name Bartholomew, but still a suit of full plate armor and a steel broadsword. So things we've had for a long time now and are not really very good anymore. Although there is a secret area over here that I can't remember if I've gone to before. Also, while I'm at it, let me check something. Let's see. Where does it mention the secret areas or whatever they're called? Secret spots. Okay. They're literally called secret spots. I wasn't sure. Like, I wasn't sure if I was remembering it correctly. Yeah, I hadn't been here before. Restless Heart. What is that? It's an accessory that gives the plugger personality. Ideal accessory for anyone who wishes to be a plugger, who won't give up when the going gets tough. Alright. Actually, while I'm at this, hold on. Let's see, martial artist. Here it is. The best personalities for martial artists are Bat Out of Hell and Tough Cookie. I don't know if I have books for either of those, but I can try. I might have Tough Cookie, actually. Let's see. Loser, Crybaby, Happy Camper, Clown, Meathead, Tearaway, Slippery Devil, Genius, Aristocrat, Paragon, and... This one gives either Vamp or Charmer. You know what? Fuck it. I'll give it to Panda. What did that give him? That gave him Charmer. Let's see here. Show Off, Spoiled Brat, Lucky Devil, Happy Camper, Good Egg, Tough Cookie, Plugger, Charmer, Acrobat, Lone Wolf, Wimp, Mule, Daydreamer, Clown, Vamp, Paragon, Thug, Meathead. Okay. So, probably want to give him the weightlifter's belt. Massive, it gives a big decrease to his luck. So we'll just have to see what happens. What does this do? And now I can give him the weightlifter's belt. Decreases his it decreases his wisdom a little bit by 15, but increases his attack by 13 and gives him a personality that works well for his class or for his job. So I think it'll be worth it in the long run. Okay. So I've effectively turned Panda into a really good all-rounder. Okay, I'm seeing a secret spot down here that I don't remember if I've gone to yet. That's another cool thing about the Everbird. It helps me see things that I might not have seen before. It helps me read the things that it helps me read the things no one can read, see the things that no one can see. Okay. Read the things that no one reads. Wait, I had it right. TikTok again. Oh, I'm turning day to night, so I probably could have just used the nightlight for that. Now that I think about it. Let's see. Okay, so that means it's either out during the hyper-specific times of dawn or dusk. So, I will be right back. Okay, I waited until dusk, and yep, here it is. You do. It's a Hidu voodoo named Yudu. Oh, and the previous one was Hoodoo. Hoodoo Yudu. I love that. Mm. Okay. So now, Amiri might actually be able to overtake Ari in terms of monster stuff, monster abilities, or something. Because I think that I think the last monster wrangler ability that Ari learned before I switched her to Thief was Boulder Toss, which Amiri just learned a little while ago. So yeah, I know that there's one more monster arena, but I don't know where it is. I haven't looked it up, so I'm just gonna go to where I know Monty is, which is right here. Two seeds of strength and two seeds of defense, and stamina, and wisdom, and agility, and a goddess ring. Let me check in here, and make sure that nothing else has been added. No, okay. I think there's a rank like 10 or rank. I don't know. I think I only did up to rank like 7 or 8 because that's all that I can find. What does a goddess ring do? A magic ring that restores the wearer's HP while they walk. Interesting. Actually might not be bad for Ari or Amiri, because like they both run out of like I feel like Panda has more MP than he knows what to do with. Like with Panda, I have more MP that I could even hope to spend versus Amiri and Ari, who both have a lot of abilities that use MP, but like just run out of it really fast. I could literally spam Panda's strongest spells and not even make a dent in his MP, it feels like. And for a while, I was doing that. Exactly. I've never been here before. I couldn't reach this one before. Now, what is here? That's the question. Let's see, there's a couple barrels with probably some disappointing stuff in them. 254 gold. And a copy of Words of Wisdom. What does that do again? Here it is. So, I don't know if you need those to change vocations, or if you can just or if those are useful for changing vocations on the fly, but yeah. Now let me go back in here and see if there's anything to find. Because I forgot to do that before. Well, I didn't quite forget. I was looking around, didn't see anything, so I meant to check Animal Instinct. No monsters here. Okay. Yeah, this sounds more like a Final Fantasy song than a Dragon Quest song. And in fact, I'm sure there's a Final Fantasy track that sounds just like this, but I'm blanking on which one it was. I think it's what was it called? Like Eternal Sea or something from Final Fantasy 3? That might be what I'm thinking of. Boris. Okay. By the way, learn from my mistakes and do not sleep on using those seeds, because seriously, various re-releases of this game are not called the Seeds of Salvation for nothing. They really want you to use those seeds. And sleeping on them just really makes the game harder. Okay. It doesn't look like there's anything down there. Plus, actually, I checked it before, and yeah, there wasn't anything of really interesting, so yeah. Yeah, some of this stuff really just has to be for, like, the purposes of selling and making money, doesn't it? Because, like, there's no reason to give us some of this stuff at this point in the game. Like, it hasn't been useful in so long, you know? Also, because Panda's changed vocation twice already, his stats must be absolutely fucking jacked by now. Okay, I think that's everything that I could find at this point. Oh, except this. I wonder what this is. Safe passage. Safe passage is essentially this game's, like, float from Final Fantasy. That's one example. It lets you walk right over, like, lava and stuff that would normally damage you to step on. Okay. I don't know what this place is. Pit of Giaga. I don't know if this is new to this version or what, because I don't remember this from the, like, say, Switch version / mobile version. But one thing I gotta say is I love the fact that this actually feels like a definitive version, because so many games are bad about that. I've noticed, like, there are so many games that seem to refuse to just have a definitive version of, like, their game. You know, like Persona 3. Each version has, like, things that are either there or missing. You know, like there's no one version that has everything. you know, Persona 3 Portable, I remember for the longest time was considered like the better version, but only barely. Because even it still was missing stuff that the original PS2 version had. Persona 3 Reloaded or whatever was is apparently missing stuff that Portable and PS2 had, but has its own exclusive stuff. It's like, what the fuck is your problem? Just make one version that has everything. Jesus Christ! Like, you're not producing or selling the PS2 or Portable versions anymore. Like, just like, it doesn't fucking matter. You're not gonna make any money from sales of those. So just make one version that has everything. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't make any sense. I'm not sure how they even managed to do that, because there doesn't seem to be any way in. Oh, that's probably for the best, because, you know, they did say people keep trying to do that, so they probably just walled it off entirely. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. Okay, I looked it up, and you need to defeat Baramos before you can access this. All right. But I'm at over half an hour, very little of which I can actually cut out because it doesn't really involve like combat or anything. It's mostly exploration. So that's where I'm going to call it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And take care.